I would
Well,
regret it if people look back at the first episode and you weren't on it.
Yeah, well, I like that. It's called forward thinking.
We have one of the worst beats in the world. We do. Our beat is horrible.
Connor could shove that article up his ass.
And then I went to that game and I was like, this is the greatest team I've ever seen in my life. I'm a Jet fan. This is going to be the greatest run ever. Yeah.
No, because if they take Aquanu, I'm not complaining.
Joe Douglas is the king of keeping shit close to the vest.
A 2, a 4, and a 6 for Darnold?
Did the Jets really ruin Sam Darnold? Or did Sam Darnold just suck all along and we were just trying to talk ourselves into it?
And Hamilton is a player who can potentially make a very big impact.
And suddenly here we are today, you can't get rid of him.
Right, it's like a plague.
Joe Douglas was hired because he's not those general managers.
Okay, Luscious.
Somebody is going to fall just like Elijah Moore did, just like Michael Carter did.
You know, what would, if you had one sentence to say to Joe Douglas, what would you say? So you would say, you had me at hello, and then give him a big old wet one right on the smack.
And hello, welcome to NFL Chaos with Jeremy. I am Jeremy, and I bring the chaos. I feel like I had to come on because I said I was going to be on at noon today. I was supposed to be on a different channel, but I never got the link. So I figure I'd just come here because I'm up anyway. I woke up to be on. So I figure I'll just be on here and I'll talk about what's coming tonight. Tonight is our dual draft with Dom C. So it's me and Dom C tonight doing a dual draft. He doesn't know this yet, but the details of that draft, I've decided that we're going to debate each pick. And if we're the same and we agree with the move, then we do the move. If we don't, we let the chat decide. So that's the theme for today. We're going to duel it out. Me and Dom C are going to duel it out. And then we're going to decide who gets... if we disagree, we duel it out, and then we get to say who decides who wins. So that'll be tonight at tonight. Let's see, what time do I usually 9 p.m. tonight. Me and Dom C, we will do out our picks. Good morning, my brother, and good morning, Harry. We're gonna duel it out, and we're gonna decide. We're gonna let the audience decide who wins. So we're gonna do our debates of why we should do each pick. I wouldn't be surprised if the stream is going to go against both of us, and then we're going to have to decide who breaks a 3-way tie. Jacob Finnegan already comes in and says Kyle Hamilton, even though the draft is not for many, many hours. Like I said, this is just a jump on thing too, man. I wake up in the morning to get on a show. I'm going to do a show, even if they forget to send me the link, or if there's a technical problem and I'm not getting the link to that show. But I did say I was going to be on now at 12 noon, so I figure I'll just come on this channel. So I'm glad you're here, Harry. I'm glad you're here, Jacob Finnegan. Sub up if you haven't subbed up yet. I've seen you here before. You're subbed up. But so here we are. So we're going to do this draft, and Kyle Hamilton, I'll make a play for Kyle Hamilton. I promise. Here's how I see it. You know, we have so many different options. There's, if Tibbs or Hutchinson is there, we kind of have to go for it. Thumbs up. You too, brother. Thank you. If Tibbs or Hutchinson's there, that's where you go with 4, right? And then if you go down to 10 and Hamilton is still there, you also got to look and see, is Garrett Wilson there? And then you got to decide. Well, we don't have to decide. JD has to decide. He has to decide, who do we go for? Which one of those guys do we pick? Or we have the option to trade down, right? Or take Treylon Burks there, or take Drake London there. So many options. And then he could throw a complete curveball, fool us all, and take Tyler Linderbaum. So one day I'll get that right on the first try. So there is like a million different options that JD might go. We just don't know. But we're gonna make our tonight, me versus Dom C. He knows a lot, so it's but I also know you guys, so I know what the chat's gonna like. So I could probably win the voting for you guys because I know what you want me to do. Okay. Trade down. If both are gone, you want to just grab Hamilton right there. It's hard to argue. I know a lot of people think it's easy to argue. Oh, you can't do safety or whatever this, and they're very against that doing that. I grew up watching Ronnie Lott. My friends are Steelers fans. I know all about Troy Polamalu. I can't say his name. I remember Ed Reed, watching him a lot. And then you look at the attributes of a Hamilton, and it's hard to sit there and say, I don't want this guy on my team. He's a transformative play. Like, he transforms the defense. He's a unique talent. I'm not going to be upset if they end up grabbing him. I could live with that very, very easily. I'm going to be one of the easiest people to please this draft because I'm so not stuck on one strategy. I'm very open-minded, and going to be very supportive of what JD does because I think the idea is just to get better. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Do I think Tyler Linderbaum is Jewish? Well, he's from Iowa. So I think he's from Iowa. I don't know where. I think, is he from Iowa when he goes to Iowa State, or is he from somewhere out in the Midwest? So statistically, the chances are slimmer that he's Jewish, but he could be, right, with a name like Linderbaum. But Baum could be like another type of Eastern European name. It doesn't have to mean he's Jewish, but it'd be interesting if he does. If he is, we better in the interview make sure he's willing to play on Saturdays, just in case we ever have a Saturday game. Hamilton can play in man zone and in the box, has a linebacker size. Yeah, this is another guy. he's length, pass coverage, stuffs the box. You can move him and play him like a linebacker if you want. Or you could set him back and he can cover anybody. Look, he's amazing. And people who don't know that, if people don't realize he's a game-changing defensive guy, they haven't watched him. That's the problem. They're just hearing a name and looking at the safety next to his name, and they're not the position, and they're worried about the position, but they're not looking at the guy. So yeah, man, Hamilton, watch tonight. Get your position in. What's up, Jets fan number 4? Good. Where is New York Jets fan number 5 and number 6 and number 7? Do you remember the movie Number 4? Number 4. They're coming for you, man. You better stay in hiding. Hey, he just did a mock and traded down to get Karlaftis, Hamilton, Boyett, Mafe, Lindstrom, Ruckert, Kolar. Wow. That seems like a pretty good draft. I like it, Big Green. All the major positions are covered. All the key players have been selected. Harry. Never mind, laughing out loud. He's from Iowa and plays for Iowa. Yeah, he's probably not Jewish. Oh, you live in Iowa. Cool. I also live in Iowa. So do you know Iowan Jets fan? Do you guys know each other? Because you're the second person we know in this chat are in this Jets fan world that's from Iowa. So I'm curious if you know him. Do you know Iowan Jets fan? I always give him a hard time and make fun of him. And I had him on Friday night. It was just like saying, look, Jeremy, I talk like a regular person and I have a regular house. I'm not living in some farm. It was really funny. You're laughing. Yes, there are. Oh, you have seen the movie number 4. Yeah, you probably get along. He's always talking about meat on a stick. Is that a big thing in Iowa to have like meat cooked and then like meat on a stick? Also, he likes he sent me pictures of chops. He didn't call them pork chops or lamb chops, he just called them chops. And he sent me these pictures of these big delicious looking chops served with corn on the cob that was just looked like the best corn on the cob I've ever seen. Like just bright yellow and white kernels, each one puffy, just like the best looking corn you can ever imagine in your life. And I was like, okay, that looks pretty good. That will be a crowded tight end room with Ruckert and Kolar in the room. Yeah, I could see the Charlie Kolar might be a developmental, practice squad guy. He might be like a Kenny Yeboah type guy. And so it's possible they do it in the late rounds just to put another guy, another young, to have another young guy. But it's certainly not something I expect at this point. Like I don't expect like him taking 2 tight ends in the draft, but it's not impossible because you do have a practice squad, and it feels like he's like ready to find and solidify the position. But it depends on who he takes first, right? I mean, if he was to go big on a Trey McBride, I don't think he's investing any more draft capital into tight ends. But if he was to wait and take a Cade Otton or even a Ferguson, maybe he backs it up with a Kolar. I mean, it's possible. I love chops. That's okay. So it is a thing. That's a big thing everywhere. Meat on a stick. That's a big thing everywhere. Meat on a stick. It is. I didn't know that. Me and my wife order Greek food sometimes, and we get like shish kebab, pieces of lamb on the stick, like, or Mediterranean food, Middle Eastern food. We get like it comes like skewers, but it's not like I see it all the time. So Iowa has more pigs than people, I believe, and it's an 8-to-1 ratio. Wow. So we got a lot of bacon coming out of Iowa then. We need, we go through so much bacon as a country. There better be places that have a lot of pigs. Man, I could eat bacon just every day and with everything. JD does not draft for the practice squad. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. So I guess if that's the case, he's not going to draft 2 tight ends unless he's cutting Kenny Yeboah. But I don't see that. Kenny Yeboah did good on special teams. He did all right. Like, he didn't do anything to lose his job. So, so yeah, if that's the thinking, then he won't take 2. Yeah, and he is more likely to go tackles and guards late to build depth on our line. What's up, Michael? Michael. Bacon is the greatest food ever. Yes, it absolutely is. Oh man, I went to this. It was an all-you-can fixins on your Bloody Mary place. Like, they give you the base of a Bloody Mary in this giant glass, and you get to go up to this buffet thing and like take all the little things. And everybody's being so polite. They're taking one piece of this, one piece of that. They stick a piece of bacon in, and they walk out. And I swear to God, I walked away with a glass with 30 pieces of bacon sticking out of it. And I walked back to my table. I said, well, I guess that takes care of breakfast. And I was just eating bacon and sipping the Bloody Mary. It was great. It was great. I didn't care. They didn't say there was a limit on bacon. You know what I'm saying? So if they're not gonna put a limit on it, and there's gonna be a whole vat full of bacon, I'm just grabbing it. This is mine. Bacon. Bacon. I'm lazy. I've gotten very lazy. I get the pre-cooked bacon now. At Costco, you get those Hormel giant packages in bulk. It comes in like in a Ziploc in a box. Pre-cooked bacon. You just put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and boom, you're ready to go. You don't have all the mess and all the grease. It's nice. But I do wish I had, like, if I was a billionaire, I would buy a diner that I don't even open to the public. And I'd hire somebody just to open up that diner and have a grill filled with sausage and bacon and omelets and stuff. And I would just, every Sunday, invite all my friends And we would just go in there and have a giant brunch. Doesn't that sound good? In parts of Asia, they serve satay, meat on a stick. Oh, I get that too. I get like for when I order Thai food, I get the chicken, satay chicken, and then you get like the curry sauce on it, or what's that sauce like? Well, I think it's like a curry sauce, but what's the name of that sauce? No, man, I'm into all that. I just don't see meat on a stick like American style meat on a stick. You know what I mean? Like to hear an American say from Iowa, right? So we're not talking about, they're not ordering Thai food, right? I didn't know there's a place in America, American culture, America, that's eating meat on a stick. Like I imagined when he said it, I imagined some guy in Iowa holding a thick stick with a steak cooked on it, like a stick where he's just eating the steak off of the stick. Not that I'm complaining, I would do it. Pre-cooked bacon is un-American. Yeah, man, it's lazy American. That's me, lazy. It's not like I don't buy raw bacon and cook it. I just don't like doing that to my house. You know, like the grease goes all over the place, and I'll do microwave, but then I use like an entire roll of paper towels when I use a microwave. And then, and you have to throw it out in the garbage. Yuck, it's like just soaked in fat. It's kind of crazy. America. Yep. Getting too lazy to say the A now? Are we that lazy? It's America. Oh, man. So anyway, all I did was want to plug the channel, but you guys come in and you get me going. It's crazy. Just get me talking. Anyway, so we're going to do that draft. Maybe we'll take Hamilton, and I'll think of Jacob when I do it. I'll be like, it's for you, Jacob. Hamilton. And hopefully Iowa and Jets fan likes the pick, because we don't want you two guys to argue in the chat. Have our two Iowa viewers fighting with each other. It's not a good look. Hey, you guys ever see the YouTube channel Street Fighting or whatever it's called? What the hell is it? It's something, man. It's all over YouTube. And once you watch one, they Street Beats or something, and it's sick, man. It's just like these guys, they built their own little ring. Oh, Street Beefs. They built their own little ring, and they're running their own boxing and UFC, I guess, Ultimate Fighting, or whatever type of stuff, MMA, and it's crazy because sometimes they don't care about weight or anything. Like sometimes one person's 20 pounds heavier than the other. It's kind of crazy, and sometimes it's like neighbors that have a beef, and like they literally put them in a ring, and they're not even professional fighters. It's really fun to watch, and sometimes it's like this really scrawny guy versus this big guy, and like the big guy's gonna kill the scrawny guy, and it's like just really weird that he's willing to get into a ring and fight him. Assuming Watson, Pickens, Dotson are there at 35, and we didn't go Wilson, London, or Burks at 10, who you got? That's so hard for me, man, because Dotson's the safest, I think, out of the three. I know that's probably what most people would consider the smart pick. Most people, I'm saying. And then there's a lot of people who love, SEC football, so they're all over Pickens. But, man, I really like Watson a lot, man. He's 6'5". I heard somebody. I'll even say this Vern character who's just such a loser, is sitting there saying, like, he says, oh, there's a statistic that 50% of his contested catches he misses, or he can't, whatever, or this, and it's such a lie. It's like, how stupid are you? It's like, watch the games. Like, and it's like you could tell whoever made him that chart or that statistic is a liar, because you watch the games and you can't even find a play where he's losing out on a contested catch. And his hands are great. Like he sucks everything in like a vacuum. He's super fast. And what's great about his speed is not only, like, forget about the combines where he ran a 4.2 or 4.3 something or whatever it was. He has explosive football speed. Like if you watch on the plays, he can go from 0 to full speed so quickly. He has like that burst. I'm telling you, man. So I kind of love Watson, and I feel like I'm chickening out. Like when I say Dotson, and then I'm going to be one of those guys. Like, not that I make the pick, JD does, but I'll be sitting there saying, why didn't I just stand by my guy? Like, why did I give in and just say Christian Watson? I think he's riskier because he played for North Dakota. I'm not going to lie. But and I think there might be a little bit longer of a ramp up in development, but I'm not sure. It depends on his football IQ. If he has a high football IQ and he learns the playbook and he's able to learn the West Coast system quickly, he'll be fine. But it might not, he might just have an okay year one and not get on the field as much, and then start to like accelerate in year two. But I just love the talent. I love the speed, just everything about him, the size, the strength. Yeah, so I would have to say Christian Watson for me, but I'm not going to be upset if they take somebody else. Like if they, I'm not going to complain if they take Dotson or even Pickens. I'll trust JD. But like if it was me, I don't know, man. That's why it's hard to be a GM because I'm worried about other things. My instincts say take him, but then I'd be thinking if I was a GM, do I want to really do this and then like look like an idiot, lose my job if he doesn't pan out? It's scary to take a guy who played in a weaker conference like that, not against the same competition. But then again, it's hard to imagine what's the difference. Like he's still 6'5", he's still explosive, he's still got that speed, he still has good hands. Is it going to matter if it's a better quality cornerback that he's battling the ball for? Like, I don't know. So I'm with you. I'm thinking Watson at 35 may be better value than any wide receiver, and we take 10. But as a Jets fan, been burned so many times falling in love with raw talent. Yeah. So you got the same thing as me. Same issue. Same fear. I mean, it's just that one of the things is that we can't miss. We really can't afford to miss on this. So that's why it's hard to take them. It's like we have to hit on our picks. So is this the time to take a shot at like a high ceiling, crazy, raw, guy with insane raw talent? But we're not sure. Like it's hard. If we get a vet wide receiver free agency or trade. Yeah, that's a good point. If we got like a more if we brought back, I don't know if we bring back Crowder or just sign somebody that's a little bit more proven, that we feel better about, and then we have more time to wait on Watson. Yeah. No, I watch him. I like Pickens, man. I have nothing against Pickens. I watch a lot of Georgia. He's good. I got nothing against him. I don't. I like all three. Look, I'll be happy with any of those three. Like if he could pick Pickens, he could take Watson. He could take we could end up with Traylon Burks. We could like a lot of those guys. Dotson. I don't know which one's going to hit and which one's going to miss. So Pickens might hit as well as any of them. Like, he might just as easily hit. So I'm not against them. Not at all. But thanks for your chat. And if you're not subbed up, sub up. Hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor. What about the young wide receiver Green Bay has? Marque Valde straddling 60. Is he available? If he's available, man, I'll be okay with anything JG does. I trust them, but I would think that we're going to draft a guy and sign a guy, and people are saying, well, we didn't sign any guy. But it's very early in free agency. So, it's a little crazy to sit there and say he didn't sign anybody as if free agency is over or something. If his free agency is only the first 3 days of last week and then that's it. Yeah, man, Chowder. I like Chowder too, but no, man, I like corn chowder. But I'll take Crowder back. Ryan from Jetsjetsjetsjets swears by Pickens. I am so. Oh, thanks for being sub, but I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, and I like Ryan. Me and Ryan, obviously, get along really well. He knows me. He knows me. He knows who I am. Yeah, but that's one man's opinion. I don't have anything against Pickens. I don't not like him either. I don't swear by him, but I like him. I've liked Pickens. I picked him in many mock drafts. I've taken him. He used to be way underrated in PFN. He used to be available in the 4th round. It was great. I would take him every time. And then everybody else figured it out, or PFN figured it out and moved him up the boards. But yeah, man. We'll not cry if we pick Pickens. You got to trade. Well, okay. JD is capable of that. He's pretty good at the trades. So we'll see if that's what he does. If we don't pick up a vet wide receiver, I think we double dip in the draft. Yeah. I mean, we have to, right? We have to fill the spots. So we better double dip in the draft if we don't trade or sign anybody. Wouldn't be surprised for Crowder or Cole-back or another cheap year deal. Yeah, me neither. I wouldn't be surprised if he took Keelan Cole at all. Not that he was. I mean, obviously he wasn't a superstar, but he wasn't horrendous. He's not like a joke. I mean, he's a good route runner. He makes big catches. He had some big plays for us. He's a great locker room guy. I mean, I could live with it. I know people want more in the position. They want like more. That wasn't a pun, like Elijah Moore. I know people would like a better wide receiver than that, and to add on a better wide receiver. But I don't know that. I don't know that we have to, because I said it last night. I was talking about it all last night. We're not playing for the Super Bowl next year. We're really not. I know that sucks to hear, and people think that's, gets pissed off at that, but it's just the truth. We're just not a championship level football team yet. So yes, I would like a number 1 receiver, but if they take somebody like a Garrett Wilson or Burks or a Watson or someone out of the draft, and they're an okay rookie receiver and then develop into a number 1 type receiver, I'm perfectly happy, because I'm not so concerned about next year. But we do have to bring in a veteran because of Zach. It's the only thing I care about. It's not like so much we got to get another wide receiver W1 so we can compete and win 15 games or whatever it is. I don't care so much about that, because I'm trying to be a realist. We're not ready to take that big of a step. I mean, if we do, it's great, but it's not what I think. We're not building for that. We're not like in this urgent mode of we have to win the Super Bowl next year. But we do have to get Zach some help for the sake of his development. I will agree with that. What's up, buddy? I'm out here. My daughter's softball game. 55 degrees with 20-mile-per-hour winds. I got the notice that you were live. I just want to say hello and throw you a like. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I'll see you tonight. I'm going to be on with Dom C. We're doing our mock dual mock draft, 9:00 Eastern. Make sure everybody is there. The good thing is that I like Christian Watson too. I agree with you. He gives me Eric Decker vibes before he came to the Jets. Yeah, man. It's just about, but it's riskier, right? It's definitely riskier. It's a riskier pick. Like, I'm not living in fantasy world. I'm not going to go out there and say Christian Watson is a guaranteed lock to be a great NFL wide receiver. It's rolling dice. It's risky. He could be a bust, as we know. We've had those in our lives. But he could also be, he could be like our new Al Toon, Trayvon Walker, Christian Watson are similar arguments. Imagine it, Hamilton, Walker, then Watson. Yeah. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of, it's just, I don't know what JD, I don't know. We don't know, man. We don't know what he's thinking. Keelan Cole is a very good character guy. Yeah, he is. He was great in the locker room. He was great. He's a fun guy too. I mean, you could tell just by watching One Jets Drive that he's like, like there's no one doesn't like him. There's nothing not to like about him. He's funny. He's got a good personality. He's energetic. I mean, he's definitely a good locker room guy. It's not about the Super Bowl. Just hopefully playoffs and fully understand this team better. Yeah. I mean, that's the number one reason why I want to be stacked with wide receiver, that I wanted Laken Tomlinson, that I wanted good tight ends. I mean, right away, like because I don't want Zach playing another year without the right weapons. I think that we just have to, like, you have to give your quarterback time, a good pocket to stand in. Give him some more time, especially as he's learning and growing and learning how to read the progressions and all that good stuff. And then give him those weapons, those safety valves, people to dump it off to. I feel like he has 2 tight ends that are men now, experienced, good players, like fighters, warriors that are going to be there, like as a leader for him too, to help him in the huddle. Even though he's leading the huddle, that they could, guys that can go over, pat him on the back and say, "I got you." Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they took Aquano. I'd be surprised. And then I'd be confused. Like, are they going to trade someone? Or are we just going to have the best depth in the NFL? Like, are we going to have Fant or Becton literally on the bench as a backup offensive lineman? Or Aquano, for that matter? Like, do they duke it out, and then you have this amazing depth because offensive line, there's so often injuries, and you could always move, you could always rotate things around to make it work because Aquano could play guard or tackle. So then you have incredible depth. And then the year after that, Fant goes away, right? We don't re-sign him, and then you got your guy, you got Aquano and Fant at tackles. I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't. At the same time, it wouldn't be so shocking because it would just right away. The explanation is value pick. He took the best player available that he believed was the best player available to impact the team. Like, an impactful player that you can't pass up on. That would be his explanation. If you guys need another wide receiver, we may drop Visca. Not that he's good. Thanks, Aidan, Jaguar fan. I don't know. I don't know about the guy. I mean, but what's somebody else's junk is somebody else's treasure sometimes, just based on the system or how you're going to use them. So you never know. Just me, but a big running back who can run in the middle and then play action to Davis. So you must be which is the power back that you like? Brian Robertson from Alabama. Hassan Haskins is a power back. I wouldn't mind them having a power back. I'm good, Joe. How you doing, buddy? I am good. Got something coming your way too. I sent those cards to you. That pack of that unopened NFL cards and the other 2 cards. It's on the way. Mailed it yesterday. Just to let you know, I'm definitely a Devin Lloyd fan. Been for a few months. It's Iowa Jets fan who prefers Nakobe Dean. Oh, you wanted to clarify that, did you? I like Lloyd. No, again, I can't do your accent. I gotta stop. In the morning, I'm gonna try to do it. It's ridiculous. Devin, but you probably say Devin, not Devin. Devin Lloyd. Yeah, I don't know which one's better. I don't know which of those 2 are better. So you hate Visca with all my heart. He must have dropped passes. Yeah, well, I think you have to decide who you're going to bench. I don't think Tomlinson's going to get benched. I think that Icky would play tackle. I think he's talking about Icky playing tackle or anything. How about Icky just being the guy ready to come off the bench and play anything? Just for a year. And then after that, Fant might leave, and then we have Icky. Remember, Icky is a tackle. He could play guard. But if you have a guy who could be possibly all-pro level tackle or guard, and you have the choice, you obviously maneuver for him to be a tackle, I would think. Similar to Chris Ivy. Yes. I remember Chris Ivy. Dude, he was good. Remember Johnny Hector, though? Johnny Hector. Play Burks at running back. That would be scary. I kind of think that that guy yesterday, Deshaun Watson, not Christian Watson, the other one that we drafted late last night. Last night we drafted him. He's like 5'7", weighs 185 pounds. He looked like the kind of guy that could play both. He's so explosive. Well, we're definitely not picking up a guy who can only run 2 routes in the West Coast offense. That would be very strange. But I don't, like I said, I'd be really surprised if he did it. Unless they were planning to trade Becton or trade Fant, right? If they picked Iquano, then you'd have to be ready for something crazy. Like something's going to happen. There's going to be a trade. Thomas Jones, yeah, from Chicago. I remember him. He played for Chicago originally. I miss Chris Ivory, very reliable. Yeah, he was a good guy, good player. You should do a walk the mock draft. What does that mean? A walk the mock draft. You have to tell me what that means. A walk the mock draft. I do so many mock drafts, but I've never heard it referred to as walk the mock. Drafting a tackle to replace a top 10 tackle does nothing. Extend Fant. Draft edge. Okay, you've heard the strong opinion. Oh, greetings from a Payo Time viewer. Hello. Congratulations on signing A. Robinson, and my condolences for Woods. I know that people are not thrilled about that. I mean, I think you're happy about A. Robinson, but trading Woods for a 6th rounder, I know people weren't thrilled. I think it was a money thing. I think that cleared the money for Allen Robinson. So Woods was the casualty. But man, it must be good to win a Super Bowl and have your team making so many moves to stay on top. That's assuming that you're a Rams fan. You might not be a Rams fan. But if you haven't subs to my channel, hook me up with a sub. Thanks for coming. Payo Time could be found here sometimes. This was very spontaneous, but he's often drops by in the chat. And he comes onto the show a lot. It's a website. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a website. I'm going to look for it, man. Thank you for the tip. Walk the draft. So I'm assuming maybe it's better. Maybe the rankings are better. Maybe it's more realistic. Hell, we'll take anything different at this point, right? Just to have the players ranked differently, like from a different perspective, and having to look at a different possibility for a draft. Walk the mock draft. I'm going to look for it. Let's see what you have to say about this. Losing Woods hurt a lot. I'm a Rams fan and I am sub to you. Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, I would imagine. I know that he was really popular. I know that he was really, really popular. Tough decisions that have to be made, right? You got to stay competitive. Every other team is trying to get better. I guess you have to try to stay ahead of them. Torn ACL, they must have loved Allen Robinson, loved something about him. Bring him in. And I wonder if you're going for Beckham. Because, right, he hasn't signed yet. So I wonder if you're bringing Beckham back. That's going to be interesting to see. Can't believe Lenny Fournette is still a free agent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's good strategy for his agent to wait so long. Because I think money is drying up for teams. But I could be wrong. I mean, the agents seem, which you think would know what they're doing. But, I mean, I got surprised. There were some running backs making $6-7 million. I saw some signings, and there was one that I didn't think was at all worth it. I thought those days were over. I think even $6 or $7 million I thought was a lot for a running back, unless they are really standoutish. Just because they seem to just be, an undervalued position nowadays in the NFL. I thought you have to be one of the premier guys to make any real money. Otherwise, you don't do as well. But I have seen running backs making a little bit more money than I expected this year. Walk the mock is multiple people drafting for each team. Oh, okay. Cool. That would be cool. I bet there'd be a time limit on us, so we can't sit there. I can't sit there with the debate, with the chat and debate for an hour. That would be a good way to control the speed of the draft for us. I'm going to check it out, dude. Thank you. Thank you for the tip. Oh, Braden was saying that. Walk the mock is multiple people drafting for each team. I'm going to check that out. Did you just look that up? Did you run to the site to check it out for me? Scout it out, Braden? Braden, I'm going to see you on Wednesday, right? Position breakdowns, or is it that time of the month where we get to watch a game with Green Bean? I forget. I want to back to Snell and Boozer, and let's get back to New York Sack Exchange. But man, I remember that New York Sack Exchange. Remember how great it was? Every time the quarterback went back to pass, our guys were there. It was just so awesome. They're on the clock. I like it, dude. I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. I'm going to look into it for sure. Maybe if tonight's draft is really fast, we'll do a second one. I'll look it up and have it set up. I missed the Sack Exchange. Gaston and Klecko were beasts. Yeah, not only that, man. Don't forget Marty Lyons was freaking awesome. You know, Abdul Salam, I don't remember him lasting as long. He was kind of seemed like he was gone pretty soon. But for those couple of years, he was really good too. It was just like we had 4 people who can rush the passer. It was pretty amazing. But Marty Lyons hung around for a while. He was a great player. Loved Marty Lyons too. No, I've seen Riz from the Goat House using it. Oh, okay. The Goat House? Is Riz from the Goat House a Jet fan? Is that like another Jet content provider? I mean, how many are there? Dude. Gastineau, Salam, Burke, Lyons, and Klecko. I have a picture of it, dude. It used to be my background for the channel. It used to be the picture of the Sack Exchange. There's still some big free agent hits. Gilmore, Honey Badger, Armstead. Yeah, I just wonder. OBJ. Yeah, I don't think the Jets are going for OBJ. Yeah, it doesn't seem like our kind of player. That would be a shock. Plus, is he even going to be ready? I don't know his situation, but yeah. I mean, Honey Badger, man, that'd be crazy if the Jets went after him, like signing 2 safeties. That means that we're probably wouldn't draft one until the 4th or 5th round, maybe not even till the 5th round if we signed him. Again, I don't know if he's the right age, Honey Badger, for the Jets. JD seems very focused on younger players. But yeah, there's going to be some interesting signings for you. Not only that, don't forget, Aidan, there's going to be a lot of cuts. There's going to be a lot of cuts. That hasn't happened completely yet, right? We don't know all of the players that teams are going to dump. So that's going to be interesting too. So Riz does all teams do not follow the Goat House. He's pretty good. Okay, cool. Braden, man. Why did you tell me about it? Walk the mock. I'm going to look it up. I said that already. It's something new, something fun. I don't see the Jets guys using it like any of the content providers, so it'll be interesting. Watson whole contract guarantee is crazy. Yeah, it's more than just that. It's the fact that they structured it that he only gets $1 million year 1. So you want to talk about an organization being all in on a guy. If you get suspended for half the season, you only lose $500,000. We'll still give you everything else. I mean, that is a team that just, I guess, after 30 years of this nonsense, decided we're going to get the quarterback and we're going to lock him in. And if, you know what they got to worry about, there's things they have to worry about. Let's say he did do this to these women, right? And he got away with it this time. There wasn't enough evidence, right? So it's just a civil suit. He serves his punishment, right? But if he's guilty, and I'm saying if, because I have no idea. No idea. I'm not them. I wasn't that. It's crazy that people are so sure of guilt or innocence. If he's guilty, what you have to worry about is character. You know, if you're willing to do the things he's being accused of, if he's guilty of that, then what makes people think, especially if he's denying it, if he did it, denying it, he's not getting help for it. What makes you think he's going to stay out of trouble or not do something again? Especially if he thinks, oh, you can just get away with it. Now, he might be completely innocent, not guilty. These girls might be lying. It's possible that it's possible that he was getting, massages or something extra from women who provide that service, and some people will think that's an awful thing, and some people couldn't care less and say it's their business, the him and the women, and who cares. But if he was hurting them or pushing himself on women who aren't like that and harassing them, then that is they could be making a big mistake, because there's something wrong with someone who does that. And to think that they're magically going to clean up their life and be a good person is crazy. So, so they're rolling the dice. Maybe they interviewed him and they believe he's completely innocent. I don't know. They spoke to him. Maybe they believe that he's innocent. But we'll find out. Karma's a bitch. They better show this guy's worth it. Yeah, well, I mean, in 2 years from now, if there's a complaint of assault or sexual assault against them, and there is evidence and he gets arrested, does anybody sit there and feel sorry for Cleveland? I mean, it's like, well, you took that chance, right? It's just like if someone takes Stingley, if we took Stingley, if someone else takes Stingley, and then he ends up injured all the time, never has a good career, you took the chance. You can't sit there and blame anybody else. I feel bad for Baker. Yeah, man. I like Baker. Baker will end up fine. Don't worry about Baker. He'll end up fine. He'll end up somewhere. If he's as good as we think he is and believe he is, because I believe he's good too, he'll do well somewhere else. Guy's making millions. He's playing football. So, he'll get over it. It's all good with him. It's not like it's not like he is injured or something. He's going to get to come back healthy, and he's going to get the chance to prove himself somewhere else. Tariq Carpenter, Georgia Tech safety, 6'4", 225, phenomenal athlete. Take a look. Will do, man. Will do. I don't see him at ranked. I guess when you're not looking, you don't. That's easy to say. I don't see him when you're not looking for him. So maybe that's the problem. So because I didn't see. I don't remember or recognize the name, but always like to look at new players. We'll look them up. Tariq Carpenter. Okay. We got a lot of time still for the draft. We got a lot of time to look up guys. What's going on? Asian massage parlor. Yeah. The contract was constructor bypass league rules, fines, etc. Wouldn't mind seeing the Browns penalized for that. Wow. Was constructor bypass league rules, fines. Wow. Why would they do that? I have a feeling the Eagles might replace Hurts. You think right away? Or you think that he's just not going to pan out and they'll eventually replace him? It's hard to imagine them benching him right away. Although, if they get the right opportunity, it's not that hard to imagine. It's constructed. Oh, yeah, the contract was constructed bypass league rules. Bypass league rules. Huh. Convert him to linebacker. Convert who to linebacker? Oh, the safety? Okay. And that's something that is very possible, right? Because JD might take him and then as a linebacker, right? Just like he did with Sherwood, just like he did with Nasaldine. Like this might be a guy where they're taking a safety, but with the intention of playing him at linebacker. So that's interesting. He's certainly big enough. 6'4". So that wouldn't be a bad thing. But any other sleepers you guys have out there? Carpenter. I mean, I'm kind of into this guy that we looked up the other day, Rusty's guy. What was that linebacker, Malone? Now I'm forgetting his name. I have to see it. I took him in the draft the other day because I recognized the name. He looked pretty good. I looked at Troy Anderson again. Not that I looked at him a lot, but I watched the championship game between North Dakota State and Montana State. And I was actually looking for Christian Watson. That's why I was watching. And I wanted to watch like a whole game, not just highlights. And one of the things that concerned me about Anderson is one of the plays that we loved about him was like the only play he made the entire half. Like they were getting rolled on. He did nothing. And then he did one of the plays that was in the highlights we liked, but in every other play he was invisible. And that kind of concerned me. Next time when we do a better cause, it hurts just doesn't have faith in him. That's what I like about teams. We have faith in young quarterbacks, even with bump games. Yeah, man. Well, he was hurt too, Baker, so he wasn't really treated fairly. What up, Iowa Jets fan? We had Jacob Finnegan here. He's from Iowa too. I was asking if he knew you. He says he doesn't, but I'm sure you guys. He says I'm sure you guys would get along, and he confirmed that you guys are very big on chops, and there's a lot of pigs in Iowa. So that's what we've confirmed. Some information that you didn't share with us that we now know. A lot of pigs in Iowa. Khalil Elmer. Is that a cornerback? Just dropping in to give it a like. Thanks, man. Thanks, butthole. Make sure you're here tonight, 9:00 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here with Dom C doing that draft. Cornerback from Florida. Okay. I'll take a look. Khalil Elmer. I think I've heard that name before. Somebody likes him. Somebody threw out his name in Jets World. If the Eagles want to move on from Hurts, they can give us 15 and 19 and 4 and take Willis. I have seen that scenario many times, and it's hard to imagine JD turning it down unless there's an edge on the board at the moment. Like if Hutchinson was there or Tibbs was there, that might stop him from making a trade like that. If both those guys were gone, give us 15 and 19 and let's move on from there. Maybe that gives us the luxury of taking Lindenbaum. I thought everyone out there was a lot of pigs. I thought everyone there knew there was lots of pigs in Iowa. No, I didn't know that. Eminon, are you from Iowa also? Oh, you're just saying hello. It'll be completely different from the other Nick. What will be completely different than the other Nick? If what? I didn't see that. I guess there was a connecting message to that. Quincy Adams is a tweeny safety linebacker. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Douglas is only drafting someone with a story after round 4. Position change, new to the position, injured. That's an interesting perspective. Oh, this looks interesting. Brian Goldstein. I haven't seen you here before. If you haven't subbed to the channel, sub to the channel. You see the catches per game for Drake London. According to CBS Sports, averaged 11 catches a game last year. That's insane. I didn't know that. I watched some highlights of him, but I didn't look at stats or things like that. I got to watch full game. Tape. Like, that's the best thing to do is you just pick random games and watch the game. Yeah, I fast forward and just watch the offense, to watch them. But to see what it looks like in a real game, to see how he impacts each drive. Look for him on replays of running plays and see if he's blocking, that kind of stuff. See if there's, like, along with those receptions that you see in the highlights, are there drop passes or there struggles with contended passes, which I doubt there is with Drake London. I mean, there's a reason why he's such a hot prospect, right? But I'll check it out. That's amazing, dude. I mean, yeah, volume of receptions is impressive. Like, it's not something to ignore because that means that he gets open a lot, or he's very trusted by his quarterback. And it means the other team knows he's going to get the ball a lot and still can't stop him, which is, it's pretty impressive. But hey, Brian, thanks for the chat. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, give it a sub. We'll have a lot of fun here. We're doing a draft tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern with a guy named Dom C. Breaks down lots of players. It's really fun to talk with him. And Drake London, man. I thought he had ankle surgery, so I'm a little concerned about that. So hopefully it wasn't serious. The bacon here is amazing. Yes, I believe it. But unless you're going to send me some, I don't care. No, just kidding. Elam is 6'2", 193, former trade athlete, big, long, physical, press corner, good tackler, but gets many. Oh, well, that's going to hurt him in the draft. But I don't know. We'll see if it's, a team that there are coaches out there that'll look at something like that, and they decide, is that coachable? Can we fix that? You don't think we should draft players from the University of Florida? They never turn out to be good for the Jets, with the exception of May. I don't know. Depends on the guy. We certainly shouldn't take risks on guys from Florida, but if there's no one you like this year, so be it. Look at the history. Hall was injured. Eccles was a converted receiver. Fant was a tight end. 2 safeties long. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Joe Douglas likes guys who have stories. Doesn't that mean he might take Stingley? Ouch. Everybody's saying we can't take Stingley. Isn't that like what Joe Douglas is going to jump for? Ooh, he was hurt and he lost value. That means I get draft cap. I get good draft value in him. If that's the way he thinks. Somebody's taking Stingley. And I have a feeling that in a few years we'll sit there and wish we had Stingley if we don't. If he stays healthy, he's going to be ridiculous. So people forget that. He's a ridiculous player. If he stays healthy, he's going to be insane. I know we can't take him because we're the Jets. And if we take him, he's guaranteed to be hurt. Guaranteed. Unless it's at 35. And there are guys that might be there at 35 that are pretty good. Roger McCreary, Kyler Gordon, Trey McBride could not McBride, the other McBride might drop. Like there's lots of good cornerbacks that could be there. So very, very possible. Anyway, wow, it's been an hour already. That was the hour I was supposed to be doing another show and didn't get a link to. So I didn't get up for nothing. I'm glad that some of you came by and made it worth it. Anyway, I did make it worth it because you guys made it worth it. I'll see you tonight. Hopefully everyone will be there. Probably going to give something away. I'm really in the mood to make tonight a big success. I'm going to have a big show tonight. So maybe I'm going to give away some cards tonight. Who do I have here? Just so you know the kind of cards I have Deion Sanders rookie prospect card from 1989. I have Michael Irving's. I think that's his rookie card. It might not be. It might be his second year. No, it's his rookie season. Michael Irving. So I'm going to give away some cards. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming by. And take care and have a great Sunday, everybody. This is me hanging around. I refuse to leave. Just kidding. Here's what's coming later.
I like Hutchinson the best, and I don't think Linderbaum is worth a top 10 pick. Thibodeau slipped, and I am going to grab Thibodeau. The Giants took Khalil Elam. Good for them. Kenyon Green is a guarantee in my mind. He would be such a dream pick right here. Evan Neal is still on the board. I'm not going to pick this out. That 44 pick could be tight end. That 44 pick could be a good linebacker, a good safety. We could drop back one pick and pick up a second rounder for New Orleans. We got options here.